Welcome to another segment of Blueprints Unsealed. Today we will discuss the genius mind of Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci is arguably the most iconic painter known today. His most famous artwork includes the Mona Lisa, The Last Supper, The Vitruvian Man, Lady with an Ermine, as well as many other noticeable pieces. The most intriguing aspect regarding Leonardo's paintings is the actual science that was combined with art that made his work truly remarkable. The genius of Leonardo da Vinci involves the unique ways in which he viewed the world. In this piece, we will go through some ideas of what made Leonardo a true genius. One of the most intriguing aspects of Leonardo's personality was his curiosity. He had a natural affinity and desire to understand how the natural world worked. Historians say that Leonardo would spend hours and even days studying natural effects of things. One such fascination involved the power and beauty of how water works. He even came to understand how water flow is inherently three-dimensional in nature, a concept that was way ahead of his time. In fact, Leonardo was referred to as the master of water. During his time, he was even consulted by the Florentine government for military strategies that can be used with water against their enemies. Leonardo's curiosity of how optics work led him to go as far as experimenting with optics by examining the eyeball by dissecting the eyes from the deceased. Dissecting an eyeball presented a major challenge. Once you cut into an eyeball, you change the shape. Leonardo came up with a solution to this problem by placing the eyeball in an egg white and then boiling it until it became a solid, thereby keeping the eyeball intact even after cutting into it. Leonardo's curiosity didn't stop there. He even went on to dissect dead bodies just so he can understand the structure of the human body. He spent a lot of time observing the woodpecker just to understand how its tongue worked. His curiosity in life was definitely a contributing factor in his genius, and his trait can also be traced to other geniuses of their time, such as Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, and Nikola Tesla. Leonardo believed in mastering the fundamentals. He constantly used analogies as a method of inquiry. This was done mainly because he noticed similarities throughout life. For example, Leonardo gained great insight into understanding the flow of water because he understood that the flow of water was very similar to how his lengthy hair would move whenever the wind blew. This method allowed for him to understand bigger concepts by using smaller ideas and connecting it with a bigger concept. Leonardo believed in starting with the details. To observe something carefully, do it in steps, starting with each detail, and do not go on to the second step until you have the first step well fixed in memory. Leonardo was adamant in respecting the facts by allowing yourself to change your mind based on new information, especially when your ideas are flawed or not based in reality. And finally, Leonardo felt that genuine artists care about the beauty even of the parts unseen. Leonardo believed in being social and was a great collaborator. He enjoyed the companionship with close friends and was known to have spirited conversation with people he just met. He believed the knowledge is best gained through collaborative endeavors. Whenever Leonardo had an idea that he was struggling with, he was not afraid to seek guidance from a close friend or someone he believed may be best suited to help him. For example, Leonardo da Vinci collaborated with Luca Pacioli, a known mathematician, for help in learning algebra, a topic that Leonardo struggled with. As a side note, Leonardo considered by today's standards more of a visual learner, so he was able to grasp geometry very easily, but not algebra. Luca, on the other hand, was able to make algebra less abstract. In turn, Leonardo was able to provide Luca with great illustrations of geometry that Luca would use in his math publications. Leonardo was brilliant with the concept of collaboration. Today, most schools typically enforce the idea of working on problems by yourself, but studies have shown that students that collaborate statistically perform better. Leonardo da Vinci was a remarkable genius that was ahead of his time. Leonardo possessed a natural skill that allowed him to write backwards, called mirror writing, and he also was ambidextrous, which means that he was both left and right handed. However, that is where his natural talent peaked. It is highly believed that Leonardo's genius was based on skill. These skills were honed and practiced diligently over his lifetime. He was a true polymath of his day, and his creativity and innovation will be studied for years to come. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button.